From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a PrimeWave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop Dibiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Welcome to the latest episode of the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by the one and only Pop Dibiase, the primetime capper.
And Jeff Dawson, the Don of Cape Cod, East Coast sports investors.
And here we are. We are now approaching week 9. Jeff, we are fully done with the first half of the season. We have 2 quarters done, and now we got 2 more quarters to go. And like I said last week, every week is going to be us pretty much going ahead and separating the pretenders from the contenders in this situation. And we saw a lot of that last week in certain matchups that you thought were going to go a certain way, but they did not go that way. Pretty much last week, though, me and you, we had a great week, both of us, but you did beat me by a 1 game, and you got 9. You were 9-5 last week. I was 8-6. So pretty much all in all, if you watched, you cashed out nicely and you're ahead. And your bookie was pretty mad Monday morning when he went ahead and called him up and wanted to get that envelope. You know how me and Jeff, Jeff, envelope Mondays, as Jeff always likes to say. So pretty much that's how we start off the week. Great. But you know what? That's last week. It's all about this week. So up first, we got the Thursday night football matchup, and that's going to be between some very good teams in the Green Bay Packers visiting the San Francisco 49ers, who are a mash unit right now. Quarterback out for the next few weeks, and they probably have lost Kittle pretty much for the remainder of the season. He can come back maybe the last few weeks of the year, but it's all going to be based on how San Francisco looks by the end of this month. Jeff, what are your thoughts real quick before we get into the plays on this one?
It's a new week. It's a tough week. The COVID, the injuries, everyone's hurt. Last week, well, as you said, was a great week overall for us. Just starting off with this game, no Kittle, no Jimmy G, and now we're hearing COVID's hitting some of the Packers in their running back situation with Dillon and Williams now probably out. Unsure of Jones going to be back, so it could be an aerial attack from Green Bay here. Last time they were at Candlestick or whatever the name of this stadium is right now, they got their butt whooped on their way by 41 to something as the Niners rolled to the Super Bowl. So tough spot here, real tough spot.
All right. And what I'm seeing here is that we got a Green Bay team that knows exactly where they stand in the league right now. They had a tough loss last week against a division foe in Minnesota, but we could feel that coming because Minnesota and Green Bay kind of had some unfinished business from week 1. And, it seemed like Minnesota was the better team in the second half of that game as well, too. It's just that Green Bay got out to such a fast start. Minnesota couldn't do anything about that time around. So this time, you can go ahead and cross that one out, because it's a divisional game. Other than that, the Packers have been superb this season, so it's not hard for me to take them at the -3.5 in this spot. I think they're going to be able to rock and roll the 49ers because they got to get revenge because the 49ers absolutely embarrassed them, not once but twice last season. So this is good for them. It's the 3 days after, the havoc that occurred to the 49ers and then, the Packers after a bad loss, but they were coming back in the end of that loss as well, too. It just winds up being like last Thursday with the Atlanta, and then you have a team coming in here who's going to be ready to knock down a brick wall. So give me the Packers -3.5.
Yeah, you're going to really have to shop and buy early on this one, also depending upon injury reports as this gets closer to kickoff. A 49er team going into Sunday that had won 2 in a row gathered a lot of steam, late steam as well. They were only getting 1 or 1.5 in Seattle, and Russell very quickly and DK Metcalf showed them the door. Now the injuries and everything. And we were both on the Vikings. Great spot for them last week. And now the Packers, I don't think they lose 2 in a row here. So the money line's too steep for us as well. But we'll gladly take the Packers -3.5. When this show does go off, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 5 and a hook. So if you're on board with us with the Packers, you better buy now.
And there it is. All right. So we move along, and we got our divisional game for this week in the AFC. It's going to be in the South as well, too. Texans at the Jags. This is almost like this is an under-the-radar game. Always is going to be an under-the-radar game in NFL lore. I swear this is the most irrelevant division in all of football, in my opinion. Seriously, the AFC South. You know, they got great teams. They got great competition, but it's just that the markets, Jeff, the markets. You know what I mean? The markets is just some of the lower ones in the NFL. It's just that simple. But, you know, this is a very important game for the Texans moving forward in the season. Jaguars, to me, have already stamped the flag down to say that, you know, we're waiting on next season. Their quarterback Minshew is out now for the next few weeks, probably for the season, you know, because when you look at it, why keep winning games when you're so close to Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence? I think Justin Fields is the better fit for Jacksonville, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and talk about right now and not the future. And right now, I feel like what's going to happen here is that week off that the Texans just got is a beautiful thing for them. This is exactly what they needed. They needed some rest. I feel like Romeo has the locker room you know, pretty much believing in him, even though they did drop that last game that they played in. Regardless of anything, though, they're still playing pretty much competitive football, and I think that they absolutely blow away the Jaguars in Jacksonville this week. I'm taking them with the 6.5, and I think that they actually win the game by 10 or better, Jeff.
Yeah, we're looking at this a lot of early push on Houston now with Jaguars announcing that Minshew is out, so they're going to a first-time third-string starter as well here. What we did here at ECSI is we suggested to buy the hook, take Texans down to -6. Again, this is a buy early spot. Jags now I don't know. I think it's boom or bust now for the Texans. I have confidence in Watson and them to get this done, and I too agree with you. This should be a double digits or better spot. So ECSI releasing for the Texans -6 and buy the hook.
Okay, now we got one of the oldest rivalries in the league. Well, pretty much on the coast, and that's my coast, the left coast, the west coast, and that's going to be the Chargers of Los Angeles against the Las Vegas Raiders. The first time ever these two teams will face off in these cities right here. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Who would have thunk it 60 years ago when they made the AFL that these two teams would be, well, the Chargers would be back in Los Angeles and the good old hometown Oakland Raiders will be down in the diamond in the desert, Las Vegas. Hey, you know what? Times have changed, and we are here where we're at now. So the Raiders would have loved this game going into SoFi because this would have been another 70-30 split for the road team in this situation. And pretty much what happens here is going to be a very good game, in my opinion. I know the Raiders are probably going to be getting most of the juice here. That everybody's going to be going crazy about picking the Raiders because the effort that they made last week against the Browns, and rightfully so. The Raiders have actually stepped it up. Their defense had their best game of the season last week against a highly potent offense. And I just really feel like the more and more each week, the Chargers play with a lot of great effort. But the thing is, if they can't finish games, I can't trust them. So I feel like the Raiders will be in this game, but the Raiders need to jump on them right away because the Raiders have the tendency when they fall behind that they're not going to make a comeback either. But they did do a great number against the Saints, but that was the opening game at the new stadium. So you had that energy, but now you're playing here at SoFi, no crowd at all, and a crowd would have been very helpful for the Raiders in this spot, in my opinion. But I still think the Raiders will edge them out once again, and I'm still just seething about that loss from last Sunday with the Chargers as well, too. It's unthinkable. Like, you can't go out like that, Jeff. I'm just sorry. You just can't go out like that, brother. Sorry. It just can't happen. I don't blame the coach. I don't blame the ownership. Stop blaming people who ain't on the field playing. Blame the player. The players were the ones who did not finish that game. It's on them. They're the ones that are trained to do their job, and they didn't do their job there at the end. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Jeff, give me the Raiders, and I'm going to take them with the money line as well, too.
It's funny. We were on the other side. We had Denver money line last weekend for our VIP clients. It was the third wheel of a 3-team parlay, paying 5.5 to 1. So we were kind of ecstatic with that finish. I look at this. Chargers opened at 3, currently 1.5, and it's all Raiders. 65% of the bets, 72% of the money incoming in on the Raiders, and that's why it's gone from 3 to 1.5. We're going to go back. We're going to go with the Chargers here today. We're going to take the points out of play. We're going to play the Chargers minus the 115 money line. Look for them to finally close out a deal. We love Herbert. He's been amazing. Him and Burrow's putting on shows. I mean, what a class for the rookie quarterbacks. Hats off. But we'd like the Chargers to bounce back and win this one.
All right. So there it is. Another little face-off between me and Jeff. I'm on the Raiders. He's on the Chargers. And that's going to be about 50%. That's going to be 50-50 right there as well, too. I can see the nation doing the same exact thing. All right, we move forward, and now we have ourselves an NFC matchup. And this NFC matchup is going to be a doozy. It's going to be between the New York Football Giants going against the Washington Football Team. It sounds like a game from 1933, Jeff. Seriously. Like, this game will be on WPAX radio at 2 a.m. Okay, so Jeff, you know what time it is, and the dog started barking a little bit too early, but now it's time to bark because you know what time it is, Jeff. It's time for the good news only dog bet of the week, and go ahead and give me the New York Football Giants with the plus 160. They are going to dance all over Washington come Sunday. I think that after that loss last night against the Bucs, this team knows what they have, what they can do, and now moving forward, they're going to be a much better team for the rest of the season, Jeff. They're 1-6 right now. Only place they can go is up at this point, and last night showed that because it was such a heartbreaking way to lose. But you know what? I don't believe in moral victories, but the Giants could say that they had one last night. They toughed it out. They played great football. They've been playing great football over the last month or so, and now they get to get an opponent that they can beat up on. And I feel like they're going to actually have their best game of the season come Sunday. Give me them Giants, plus 160. Good news only, dog bet of the week. Go ahead and take that one to the bank, Jeff.
You know, I think a lot of people is going to follow that lead. I'm expecting a hard-fought battle. Washington sneaky at home. I mean, the key to them is, slowing down McLaren, slowing down the running game. And then when it comes to the Giants on offense, you're going to have to slow Chase Young down. I, too, am going to follow your lead, but we're going to take the points. We'll take the 3 and a hook here. It's pretty well split in Vegas right now. 50% of the bets, but 72% of the money coming in on the Giants. So shop early, get the 3 and a hook. It could be 3 by kickoff.
There it is, and there it is. So with that, we will take our first break of the show, and this is the NFL Bet Exchange.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Dawson here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal and join our team? We're offering 2 great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $29.99 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. And that's a savings of $30 and 1 free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there, or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the Winner's Circle.
All right, we're back with the NFL Bet Exchange, and I also want to thank you guys so much, man. We have been having great viewership on the Periscope Weekly and on the Zoom and on the Zingo TV as well too. So you guys keep pushing this, man. I feel like we have one of the better NFL shows, but you don't toot your horn too much. Jeff, you got to just keep on producing winners. You know what I mean? Keep on producing winners because that's all they care about. All right, so NFC North time, Jeff, and you already know what time it is. This is low. This is 2 teams that at the crossroads. You won't be lonely at the crossroads. I'm telling you right now. Both of them are at the crossroads, in my opinion. I keep telling myself, when is this Vikings team going to go? When are they going to just hit the gas and do what they have to do, start winning football games and be one of the better teams in the NFL, what they look like every time they win? So this week, I feel like they can get their first back-to-back win of the season this week against the Lions. The Lions disappointed me last week because they were in the game, then they were out of the game. And that's just, that's the story of the Lions. You know what I mean? So when the Lions have their 30 for 30, then that should be noted in the 30 for 30 for them as well too. Whenever they get to a Super Bowl or have some type of consistency with success. But all in all, though, right now, I like the Vikings in this game, Jeff. I think they pick up that momentum that they had from last week. That was a confidence booster. Winning and beating the Packers like that. Then they come back home game, and they should go ahead and wreak havoc on the Lions this week. I like them with the 3.5. I would have paid for the money line, but it's at -200 now. If that bad boy does go down, you'll see me Sunday putting something on the -180, -190. I just don't trust them at -200 though. It's funny. How do you not trust them on a dime more? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm being a little New Yorkish with my money right now. I'm being a little Lower East Side with it. So, so it is what it is, Jeff. Give me those Vikings -3.5. Let's see how it checks out. And I'm buying down as well too because it's a 4 on the spread.
We were on the Colts. We liked the fact that we had spoke earlier last week. The Colts opened up -3. Vegas has been pretty spot on with them, and Colts pretty much dictated that game for most of the second half. We're on the other side here, Pops. We think we get that full effort from the Lions. They've shown flashes on the road this year. We think that, again, the winner of this game, again, is making that next step. And we think Stafford and company go one more game to maybe round up the troops as we get closer to Thanksgiving. As you know, the 12:30 game always starts with the Lions. So ECSI going to take a swing here. We're taking the Lions plus the 165 money line. We're going to say the hell with the spread. We're going to go in and grab the money line. Nice little price here with the plus 165 and hope that Stafford and company can pull one off on the road.
Well, you know what? Face off again, because the Lions, I'm telling you, like the week I roll with them, they want to be boo-boo the fool. But the week I don't roll with them, here they come trying to be a feasible football team. But we met in the middle one time this season. I was with the Cardinals game. I appreciate them for that because that was a dog. So I appreciate you guys still for beating the Cardinals for me as well. So, you know, we just know that when they go on the road playing the Dome, they got a big shot. You got to – it's the little things, Jeff. It's the little things, brother, that people miss so much, and they'll see it at the end of the year. You got to catch it the first 5-6 weeks in. All right, so we move on. We got our AFC conference games, and we got a doozy here. I wouldn't call this a matchup that might – be where these two teams meet up in the say conference championship, but this is a possible wild card weekend matchup, a possible divisional matchup as well too. And this is going to be between the Ravens and the Colts. And I really do like this game right here, Jeff. And this one is a toughie for me, but I know how he can respond against this team if he can get some running. And if Phillip Rivers can get a run game behind him, it's going to be trouble for the Ravens, in my opinion, because they can go ahead and eat that clock up. Keep Lamar on the sideline. The best defense is to keep Lamar on the sideline. That's it, and that's all. Your best defense can be your offense against the Ravens, but your offense has to be consistent. And I feel like with as many years as Rivers has logged, he knows how important this game is. And I think everybody's going to really overplay the Ravens here. And the good old G's from Baltimore, the original Baltimore team, Jeff, the Colts will go ahead and whatever song they used to play on Sundays when the Colts was around, they'll be playing that song after the game, after we get the plus 3.5. It doesn't matter to me. Just lose by 3 or win by 3. It doesn't matter. I'm taking the plus 3.5. Colts, there you go.
It's a tough game. Colts have been very profitable for ECSI this year. I'm going with that opening line of the Ravens -3, 3.5, and I have to take a strong look at that. You know, looking at our spreadsheet here, it's off the board in a few spots in Vegas, and I'm kind of curious who might be banged up or who they're waiting for. Again, you know, when a team is down, that's when you got to be most scared of them. And, you know, we went from a preseason Ravens could go undefeated, one of the two favorites, to a 5-2 team who the two big games at home, KC and the Steelers, now they have lost. So now they're behind two teams when it comes to that playoff race and who's hosting home, who's hosting away. We're going to just throw the points right out. We're going to take the Ravens in the money line. I saw a 165 out there on some shops. So I'm going to just take the points out of play, expect them to bounce back. And even at some of the shops, to all the listeners, you can get the Ravens right now at 12 or 13 to 1 to win the Super Bowl, which, again, you couldn't have got before the season started. So take a look there. I'm not saying they're coming out. As you know, we've been on the Steelers from the preseason. We're sticking with that pony. They look pretty good. But look for a big bounce back from the Ravens. Look for them to get out early and basically to get that running game going. And we feel comfortable. Throw the points out and take them minus the 165 money line.
And see, there it is. And see, you got the Steelers, and I'm over here Seahawks week in, week out. 9-2 ain't never looked so good to me. All right, so we move on. We got the Bears and the Titans. The Bears will go to Nashville and see what they can do against the Titans, who have lost their last 2 in a row. I wanted to say 2 out of 3, but they lost their last 2 in a row. They really got whooped in this last game. That was with, Pittsburgh, started a beat down of them, but they were at home. So it's a miracle city, so they worked out a miracle to get back in the game and still lose. But they walked into Cincinnati and was super flat. And I'm looking at the stats right now. This team has 7 sacks on the season. So it looks like the Clowney experiment isn't working out as well as it should have. And I think this is going to be this is team's biggest issue, that they can't get to the quarterback. They can't get off the field on third down. Like, seriously, this is a problem. And Tennessee, these things haven't been exposed until the last few weeks that we've played this season. So pretty much the Bears come in here, an angry team, could have won their game Sunday. The Bears are much better than advertised. I know a lot of people want that offense to go, but you have to understand the Bears are playing an old school brand of football. Just manage enough offense, because defense is going to take care of you at the end of the day. Offense, you just get us 24 points and we're fine. I know they only scored 23 last game, but still they came close to winning the game. But they get 20. If you notice, when they get 24 points, they don't lose. So that's the key, and I think it will be an easy 24 to get against this putrid Titans defense, Jeff. So pretty much I'm going with the plus 5.5 on the Bears, because I just can't keep passing over the Bears in situations like this. They had their loss already. They'll bounce back in this one, and they might mess around and win this game. I can't trust the Titans right now. I think that the actual COVID situation and them not, getting enough practices in has caught up with them now. That was just adrenaline and motivation. Now things are catching up with you. So give me the plus 5.5 on the Bears.
A couple of weeks ago, we're ready to push the Titans into that. Could they actually get out of the AFC? I mean, they were rolling, and they have struggled the last 2 games. The Bears put up a great effort, I should say, against the Saints. Taking a look at this, I could see the Titans bouncing back. I think this is a pretty good spot for them. But I'm with you here. We flip-flop back and forth, and when we took a look at the numbers, 56% of the bets, 72% of the money coming in currently on the Bears. Opened at 6.5. We're seeing 5.5 across the strip. We're going to follow your lead here, but we're going to buy the hook here, and we're going to take the Bears plus the 6. Hopefully they can keep it, within 3 or 4. And if there was a mixed extra point and it does land on 6, then we get the push here. But we're hoping for a strong effort. I think it's going to be a battle of 2 teams that, who wants it more here, and going to need a lot more from the QB spot at Chicago. So we leaned the Bears as well.
All right, sounds good. All right, we move on, and we have this one is a doozy, Jeff, and this is going to be, I say that about 4 times, but this one's going to be a really good one, Jeff. This is going to be the Seahawks and the Bills over in Orchard Park. This is going to be this game right here. You got Russell Wilson, the perennial MVP, and then you have Josh Allen, the new anointed elite quarterback in the league, in some circles, not in all circles, okay? So don't say I'm over here saying he's elite, because I'm just going off of what I see a lot of people say now. And in this NFL this year, he is top 10, so let's not play like he's not. So pretty much this is a very good matchup. It's a quarterback's game. But I truly do think the weather will play a part in this one as well, too. And I think the Bills are up for this one. Even though the Bills have struggled against the better teams in the NFL, I'm talking about the top-notch teams in the NFL. But they have that on their resume. You know what I mean? That they've lost to the Chiefs, considered the best team in the AFC. They, other than, the Steelers record-wise. And then you have the loss to the Titans, who were in a groove and undefeated when they beat them. So pretty much the Bills learned their lesson, and the Bills won their big game. They beat the Patriots, and they didn't put the flag in their chest like I thought they would. They kind of, stabbed them in the rib to see you another day. It was kind of like a baby wound a little bit, because we all know when they go to Foxborough, there's gonna be repercussions for what happened in Buffalo. We all know that. So pretty much, to me, I feel like the Bills are going to be in this game. They don't necessarily win the game, but I have the Bills covering in the game. Plus 3.5 to the Bills in this spot. This is going to be a game for them where they know what's on the line, but this is where you judge Seattle and see if they can really play in some bad weather, if that bad weather shows up on Sunday.
Tough spot. Again, you got that west to east with Seattle flying into Buffalo. I'm trying to look here for a time for you. Make sure it is 1 o'clock. And it is a 1 o'clock start. So it is 10 a.m. in their body frames there. Of course, Russell Wilson is that lightning rod. 64% of the bets, 72% of the money, all flying in on the Seahawks here. We're going to take a shot here. Russ and company, big win at home against the Niners. Bills, big win at home against the Pats. We see a nice value here in price on Buffalo, plus 130 on the money line. We're going to, again, look for the value shopping here. If Russell does lay an egg, it's a good spot for them to lay an egg. So we're going to say Josh Allen and the Bills send the Seahawks home with one wing here. So Bills plus the 130 win outright.
And there it is. And with that, we will be right back with the NFL Bet Exchange.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Dawson here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal and join our team? We're offering 2 great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $29.99 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. That's a savings of $30 and 1 free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there, or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the winner's circle.
We are back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the primetime capper, and I got the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson himself, the founder, CEO of ECSI, and man, oh man, we are just going to keep this boat rowing and moving and doing what they got to do, Jeff. And now we got the Panthers at the Chiefs, and boy, oh boy, it's like the Chiefs are the Clemson of the NFL. They just keep handing you cupcakes. Like, seriously, everybody else has to really go through and get the tough steak, but you guys keep getting a cupcake every week to eat on. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. This team is really good, but I really want to see them against two really good teams 2 weeks in a row so we can get a good idea. Oh, my bad. They did already play two good teams 2 weeks in a row. So let me take that back, Chiefs fans. You guys' schedule does call for you guys as one of the better teams. It's a very dominant team. You're doing well as the defending champions as well, too. But I need more, Jeff. You know what I mean? I need more. I'm one of those fans. I need more. I need to see more. I feel like they cakewalking.
They'll be ready in December and January. Don't you worry about it. But it's like the old Patriots. Every year, the Patriots always seem to have the easiest schedule. And I'd sit there scratching my head. They just came from the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, but yet they got the cakewalk schedule. And it just made no sense. And I understand you get the Jets now, you got the Panthers. But, they'll be ready. Mr. Mahomes and company will be ready come playoff time.
Well, they better be ready because this is what I'm going to do on Sunday with them. Give me 10.5 on the Chiefs because you know what, Patrick Mahomes, me and you good right now because you did that damn thing for me for the fantasy team. 5 touchdowns, passing touchdowns. Oh, boy, yeah. You won the day for me. So it is what it is. Patty, let's go ahead and throw another 4 or 5 touchdowns in that game. And, yeah, Mom, I called him Patty. But Patty in a good way, in an Irish way. You know what I mean? Patty Mahomes. All right, where are you going, Jeff, with this?
We looked at this. CMC will return finally. We went against the Panthers last Thursday. They've had the extra rest. I don't expect them to win the game, but you do remember a team from Vegas came in 11-point underdogs and did win in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. So we're taking we're going to buy the hook. We're going to take the Panthers up to 11. Hopefully they keep it close. Obviously Teddy's going to win the turnover battle here. Keep Tyreek and Kels in front of them, not behind them. Try to slow down CEH. I think KC will try to get Bell more involved, but I think it'll be a pretty good game, good flow back and forth. But we're going to grab the 11 and hope the Panthers keep it close.
There it is. And see where I'm going to with this next one, Jeff, it's going to be very simple. This is a battle between two teams that have played in 3 Super Bowls against each other. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And boy, oh boy, this is like the Lakers Celtics of the NBA, of the NFL, I mean. So pretty much Lakers Celtics, Dodgers Yankees, these guys, they don't like each other. They got history, and they always flash back to those Super Bowls and everything like that. But Pittsburgh is up in that category 2-1. So, they got their bragging rights there, but they're going to have a lot of bragging rights here as well, too, because I got them going 8-0 and beating down the Cowboys. See, this is the whooping that the Cowboys need to really understand that it's hopeless this season. So, Pittsburgh, go ahead and be that team. Because every time you have an undefeated team in the NBA, they always draw the Cowboys. I mean, in the NFL, they always draw the Cowboys, Jeff. Every year, it seems like the Cowboys get the draw of an undefeated team or the hottest team in the NFL and get absolutely broken half. And I think that's going to happen again. Sorry, Cowboys fans, you're going to get broken half on Sunday. I wouldn't watch if I was you, seriously. I wouldn't watch. It's a fate. It's a DOA, Jeff. DOA, brother. -9.5. Buy down. 10 or better. Steelers. I can't believe I'm talking like this too, because I could care less about the Steelers, but the Steelers winning money for me right now. So go get it, Steelers.
When we were writing the notes for this, we had highlighted that we got a note that Andy Dalton was active, and so on our notes we were leaning the Cowboys plus the 10 or 10.5, depending upon where you were shopping. But as we were filming here now, it did come across that Dallas is putting him on the IR, which means they will be he'll be out for a couple more games, which could also be a sign that maybe Jerry and company are selling today. The trade deadline is today at 4:00. Steelers, what used to be a big problem for them was Big Ben on the road, and he hasn't blinked. And a big win for them in Baltimore. They grabbed the lead late. Ravens came back, took the lead, and it went back and forth like a true heavyweight. These two will probably meet again, maybe even 2 more times. But in this game, Tomlin, Big Ben, they're focused, they're hungry. I hope the Italian Stallion is not the quarterback for Dallas because, man, he looked like a deer in the headlights Sunday in Philly. And when he sees this defense lined up, it's going to only be worse. So we're giving out Steelers -9, 9.5. Buy the hook. Keep it under that 10 if you can. Buy now, buy early, buy often, and thank us later.
Man, Jeff, you are so right about that. I watched 2 seconds of that game, I think, Sunday, because I wasn't interested. Seriously,
No.
I wasn't. You know what I mean? And people were even asking me, what should we do in this game? Not a thing, not anything. Just watch it or watch something else on TV. Just seriously, this game does not belong on Sunday Night Football. But we had to bear with it. So it is what it is. And this guy right here that they threw out there, he wasn't even good at Pittsburgh. So I don't know what they what they think about a guy from William and Mary who was really a throwaway pick. You know what I mean? You just had him on the board and he was left. That's it. All right. We move on and we have ourselves a really, really fun game here in Atlanta. And this is another Super Bowl matchup from 20 years ago. This one was a hype one too. You had a 13-3 Atlanta team come in there, kind of fluky though, Jeff. They was kind of fluky, 14-2 actually. They was kind of fluky though, Jeff. You know that. That was a fluke situation, but they still made it to the Super Bowl to get absolutely crushed by the Denver Broncos. But the Denver Broncos had a guy by the name of John Elway. This guy that they have the quarterback isn't even Brian Greasy. So pretty much Locke is the luckiest guy on the planet. And you know what? I'm going to just say this one time. You better watch what you're doing, Locke. All that dancing and parading you did at the end of that game where the referees helped you out a bit. I'm telling you, one of these defensive linemen is going to line you up. I'm telling you, it's going to be ugly when you come to L.A. They're going to line you up, boy. Jeff, you know I'm right, too, because that was some fluke. I don't like when guys want to dance on it and you know the ref helped you. The ref helped. The game was over.
He got his cheeks down.
Hey, no. The game. Look, I'm talking about the BSPI from right before that.
Well, it was old school. That was face guarding 101. I mean, he wasn't even looking. It took balls to call it, but they still had one more play to stop it.
You're right. All right, so I'm gonna do this though, Jeff. Let me hurry up and let me just get to the pick because you know I ain't taking the Broncos. Atlanta, you already know what it is. I'm so stubborn with you guys. I still believe that you can backdoor yourself into the playoffs. I don't know why, but you know what? I believe in you, Matt Ryan. I believe in you, Todd Gurley. I believe in Julio. I believe in Riley. Come on, guys, give me another win. I'm taking y'all guys with the 3.5. There it is. Falcons. Let's see how it goes, Jeff.
You know, I'm a very astute person when it comes to opening lines, and this was 3.5 all across the board. I'm seeing some 4s, some 3s. I look at that money line. I think they were -220, 215. That's too rich for our blood. I think last time we took Atlanta at home, we grabbed them on a money line, and we had them on Thursday as well. I think they get the job done. Unfortunately for us is, we always try to get you an edge. If your shop's saying 3.5, we're suggesting that you buy the full point here. If you can get any 2.5s anywhere, that's our suggestion here. We're on Atlanta this week. We think they do a little something special at home. Big win for Denver and Locke. Very fortunate. I will say that, no doubt about it. But I think Atlanta might have a little mojo coming into this game. So we're sending out Atlanta minus the full point. If you can get them to 2.5, fine. If not, 3, whatever your shop says. But we're on Atlanta here, Pops.
There it is. So you're on Atlanta, and I'm going to be on you're on Atlanta. I'm on Atlanta as well, too. And there it is. And so pretty much that means the Broncos are going to probably win. Hey, you know what? I'm just over there talking to you, the person that says, I fade everything on this show. Yeah, you lost a lot last week, too, huh? Mr. Fader, Mr. Know-It-All. All right, so Dolphins at Cardinals, Jeff. This one is a toss-up. Honestly, the line does not give this game justice, in my opinion. You got pretty much the most overhyped matchup of the week. It's going to be Kyler versus Tua, two great college quarterbacks that are very diminutive. You know what I mean? So, let's see how it goes. And are they the future of the NFL? Is this a possible future Super Bowl? Blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I just hope these guys can make it past the first 3 years. That's all. I always say that, Jeff. You know what I mean? I seen Josh Freeman go to the highest heights and then crash and burn. Remember him? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I call his name out. 7 out of 10 people probably forget who he is. Seriously. Josh Freeman. And he was a lot like Patrick Mahomes as well, too. So you guys always tied the expectations a little bit with these guys. Give them 3-4 years to really be that guy that they said that they're going to be. This is in college. So Tua was okay last week. His team really kind of, covered up the whatever performance that he had. He didn't have a great performance. He was merely just managing. That's it. And they could have Fitzpatrick do something like that. But you got to give Miami their props. Their defense stepped it up. Their offense line stepped it up very well as well, too, with the running game. And then the special teams was amazing as well, too. But the defense was everything, though, in that game, Jeff. They made everything happen. Without the turnovers, the Rams actually could have ran roughshod on the Dolphins, but they had too many turnovers to keep up in that game. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? Because honestly, the Rams had about 100 more yards than the Dolphins in this game as well, too. So Dolphins, you're not going to get away with that this week against the Cardinals, in my opinion. I think the Cardinals bring them back to reality, and they actually beat them by 7 or better. But I know that this one is risky business for me as well, too, because we saw what happened last time Miami came out to the West Coast in a game that they wasn't supposed to be in, and you saw what happened, San Francisco. So, Jeff, what are your thoughts?
It's a tough spot for us. We had the Dolphins. We had the Dolphins in our ECSI weekly email that we send out. We gave them out plus the 3.5. We also told everyone to sprinkle a little pizza and beer money on the money line. And it is true. It wasn't it was more on the Rams, west to east 4 times. A lot. It was like the perfect storm. Now you got the Dolphins that got to go from down south all the way out west. Great matchup, as you said, Murray versus Tua. I can see where you're coming from. What stood out to me the most about the Dolphins was that defense. And I think Flores has got these guys on point. I think they're starting to feel themselves. And I think, another 7 days of practice and reps for Tua, I think offensively they take that next step. And we're going to take the Dolphins plus the 5 here. We're going to hope that if they do lose, they keep it within 3 or 4. But I think we're going to get a surprising effort from the Dolphins. And I wouldn't be shocked because of that defense, not Tua, but because of the defense, if they didn't come out there with a win.
Right, because Brian Flores now is the czar of defenses and all that good stuff after what they did to the Rams. And I just say that you had some good situations where the defense played to the moment. That's what they did. They played to the moment. It was a hype game. The Rams coming in here, awesome offense. And, the Rams kind of overlooked the situation and got popped. It happens. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and we will be right back. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break. This is the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide.
All right, we're back with the NFL Bet Exchange, and here we are, Sunday Night Football, Jeff, Monday Night Football, and Saints at the Bucks. Oh boy, oh boy. Michaels and Collinsworth. Oh my goodness, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for Collinsworth to be like, that's Tom Brady, man, and that Drew Brees, man. He's just the best of the best, man. Can't get enough of this. Well, you know what, man? Honestly, I love this new young core quarterbacks that are coming into the NFL. And honestly, I respect the old guys, but I just really feel like they're really in the way, Jeff. Seriously. Like, these guys really, can we just say 1 to 2 more seasons for both of you guys? Give somebody else a shot. You know, the Mahomeses of the world, the Allens of the world, these guys are on the come up, and it seems like a lot of the reporters and media just were fixated on these 40-year-old quarterbacks. Yes, they've broken every single record, but their skill level is not up to where it used to be, in my opinion. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that shadow the weaknesses with the playmakers that are around them, in my opinion. This week, Michael Thomas has to play Sean Payton. He has to play because Drew Brees is missing the guy badly. And if he gets to play this week, I think they roll in this one, to be dead honest with you. And even if he doesn't get to play this week, Jeff, I still think they roll because you know what? They getting confident right now. They beat a very good defensive team in the Bears and had to kind of come back in that ordeal as well too. And, you know, pretty much I feel like this team can really take it to any level that they want to. And when they're a dog like this, there's no way I'm not going to take them in a divisional game like this one. Give me the Saints because everything tells me Sunday night that the Saints are about to come rain on Tommy Boy's parade. You know, I know he got his out Michaels and Collinsworth, 2 big fans of his, but I think it's time to go ahead and, you know, pretty much sit Mr. Brady and the Bucks down real quick and let them understand that who runs the South until otherwise, you know. So give me the Saints money line plus 200. Let's see how it checks out.
Oh, you know, I like to say I agree with you because the thought process is correct in regards to this. Michael Thomas will be back, by the way, and this. I think a good opportunity here to say that this will probably be his last season with the Saints unless something drastically happens. But there's too much behind the scenes going there for them to kiss and make up. But Tommy Boy's got a new shiny toy a new shiny toy that could be also debuting on Sunday. He goes by the initials A and B. And it'll be interesting to see if Mr. Antonio Downtown Brown steps onto the field. Godwin is also active. So you could be throwing out Evans with Godwin, with Brown, with Gronk, with I don't know who else. My point is, if the Bucks were to lose this game, they'd be 0-2 against the Saints, and all tiebreakers are out the window. So, but again, opening line is so key here. When they first met opening week, the Saints opened at 7. That thing got bought down to 3.5, and we know the Saints won. They opened this one at 5 for a reason, because they knew they'd get the Bucks money, probably pushing this up closer to 6 and a hook. But we'll see where it does go. For me, I'm going to stay with the hometown team. They have struggled slowly at home to start. There's been a few teams that gotten out early, and Tommy Boy has brought them back at the end. You can't get behind against the Saints because they'll pound Kamara, and Thomas is back with fresh legs. So we're taking Tommy Boy -5 by the hook. We hope that they win by 6 or more. Kind of a must win for the Bucs, and we'll say Antonio Brown, if he does play, finds the end zone as well.
Well, AB, he's staying up at Tom's house and everything. You better show up. Over there just taking up and knowing you can. How cheap are you, AB? You can go get yourself a condo or something. Yeah, John Brady.
He's getting the sneaky peeks at Giselle while Tom's at practice.
Oh God, you know what I mean? Oh God, you got him babysitting Saturday night. I got you. Your kids play with my kids. Okay, all right. So there it is with that Monday Night Football, Jeff. Monday Night Football actually winds up being a pretty good game in a sneaky way because you got Sir Cam, Mr. Cam, you know what I mean? And Cam is on the verge of being on the bench. And we all know this because Bill wants to win. And, pretty much he signed you up. He brought you in here on some let's go ahead and win stuff. But the Patriots needed this, Jeff. They needed to understand who they needed to get the feeling of losing a little bit. You know what I mean? They've been so dominant for 20 years straight. And I think, honestly, they shake out of this thing. Cam's been in this situation before. Let's all go back to 2015. Cam gets hurt, right, in a car accident. And they literally had written them off for the season. I think at the time they were 5-8, Jeff, the Panthers. He went off and won the last 3 games of the season. Luckily for him, though, the South was a terrible division, and they wound up winning the division as well, too. That's when the year that they beat Arizona in the first round. And I'm pretty much going back to that moment because that's when Cam turned it on and became the best player in all of football. Now, I don't think he'll become the best player in all of football, but he can go ahead and channel that motivation into what's going on right now at 2-5 with the Patriots. And I truly do feel like they can go ahead and be really good in this game. This is the game that they need to clean up some things in and really be dominant in. You know what I mean? And stop the extra, stop the playing, stop the elevating expectations. Simmer it down, bring it down to here, and go with the Belichick style of football. That's a game by game situation right there, Jeff. Give me the Patriots -6.5.
Well. I think Cam, when he ended in Carolina, I think he lost 7, 6, 8 in a row and kind of quietly faded off into the sunset. Came over here to New England. He was the last man standing on the quarterback free agent pool. Bill brought him in, came out guns a-blazing. Pat's Nation was already – we're going back to the playoffs. We're winning the division. We're going to re-sign Cam. And next thing you know, Cam gets COVID. Pat's losing Kansas City. They come back home. They get waxed by Denver. They just lose to the Bills. Here's my point. The Patriots fly into New York on Sunday night, and they fly out on Spirit Airlines. It's done. It's over. Pull the plug. It's done. Okay? So we will give you, ECSI will give you the Jets plus the 7.5, and we will also tell you to sprinkle some beer and money on the plus 281 money line. Yes, you heard it here first. Okay? The Jets are not going winless. Sunday, they get their first win here against the Patriots. Time-stamped and delivered.
Yeah, Jeff is going over. I don't know. Jeff must have his own dog better than week sponsor as well, too. 280. There it is, though. That's why you watch this show, because we're not going to sit up in here and be contrarian like the rest of them. We will hand out some ish. I'm telling you. We will hand you some money, where you'll be strutting to the window. You know what I mean? I'm talking about George Jefferson style, Jeff. You already know what it is. All right, so my top 5 teams after the first 2 quarters of the season, after the first half of the season. Let's go ahead and start from number 5. It's going to be the Ravens, 5-2. Ravens, both of their losses are quality losses as well, too. They're against Kansas City and against Pittsburgh, two teams that are on my upper echelon of this list as well. So the Ravens are number 5 right now, and I think that's the right spot for them because they really haven't played they really haven't done well against the tougher teams on their schedule, but they've dominated the teams that they were supposed to dominate, and that's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for. And then we got number 4. The number 4 team in my group right now is going to be this squad right here. It's going to be the Bucks, who are 6-2, looking good. But once again, the Bucks are another team that is getting the brunt of having pretty much a schedule that favors them to be 6-2 at this point. You know what I mean? They could have been 5-3. You would have expected 5-3, but they got the big win over the Packers, which shouldn't be seen as an upset. That was just a big game between two really good teams, and the Bucks won the first round. They'll see each other. We'll see each other again. Because that's what that looked like. I'll see you again, buddy. And then pretty much we have the Chiefs here, number 3, 7-1, Jeff. They are balling out, but you know what? As I said before with the Chiefs, I'm right with the Chiefs, right? They only lost once this season, correct?
What's that?
The Chiefs lost once this season, correct?
They lost to the Raiders.
Just the Raiders. So they're 7-1 right now. They're a team that really needs a break, in my opinion, as well, too, before somebody really vital gets hurt. You know what I mean? They really need a break because they're one of the teams that when you're one of the better teams in the NFL, they don't let you get your bye until about week 10, week 11, week 12, because you're selling tickets. You're selling news. That's why. So I like the Chiefs here at number 3 right now, Jeff. Number 3. I feel like they've given them so many winnable games in this situation. They got games that they had to really play it tough in. It was a tough looking matchup when you looked at it on paper, but all in all, they are 1-1 in those matchups. So I can't sit up here and say, okay, Super Bowl champions are the most dominant team I see in the league, because they're not. The most dominant team I see in the league is coming up right now. But before that, I'm going to have my 9-2 Super Bowl pick, the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like a Seahawk fan the way I pump them up every week, but I got them number 2. So, I'm not homering, okay? I'm being logical. They're number 2 because their loss was kind of a weird loss against the Cardinals. They should have won that game. They took their foot off the gas, got a little cute, and lost. It's that simple. And so pretty much they get points deducted for that because you can't be like that. And also, just real quick news, the Pats are trading Isaiah Ford to the Dolphins as well, too, just to give you guys that's a breaking news that just happened. I know the show won't be out till Thursday, but still, there goes some breaking news for people that may not know until Thursday. So, where was I? All right, number 2 is going to be the Seahawks, just because simply they are the best team in the NFC right now. I don't care what anybody says. They'll beat anybody in that conference at this point, of the season. But we'll see. We got 2 more months. We got 2 more quarters. So things change. We evolve each week in the NFL. So number one, and I hate to even do this and say this right now, and really I'm over here almost bowing to this man that's sitting next to me. Well, literally not sitting next to me, but he's 3.5 hours away on the other end. And number 1 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Berg, Big Ben, the Revenge Tour, and my brand new receiver named Claybrook, Juju, who? Deontay Thomas, and then my man from Oklahoma State as well, too. We always forget about him, but he's a baller as well. That's another deep threat. He has four receivers that could be Pro Bowlers if they want to be. If they were on different teams, they would be the number 1 receiver on any team in the NFL. So there it is, number 1 Steelers, and the defense is just too legit to quit. I'm telling you. It is what it is. I know I'm bringing back 91 references, but it's one of them days. So that's my top 5 for the first half of the season, Jeff. What are you thinking?
if it was Seattle and Pittsburgh, we could have that rematch. We could have the rematch Super Bowl there. They did meet in a Super Bowl. I forget what the year it was. You probably remember it.
06. I know because I lost. I know because I was in this pool where I had a lot of money riding on a Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl win, and it went to the left, brother.
The refs kind of played
I was in Vegas for that one too.
The refs played a little something in that one too, but we won't get into that. I mean, I think you're correct on the top five. I try to think of neutral sites, and I think of what the spreads would be. I still think Kansas City would be favored over all four of those other teams that you mentioned. So I mean, because of record, I think Pittsburgh definitely won or 1A. I think Kansas City's definitely right there as well. I put Seattle just a notch below, and then I got to put the Bucs in front of the Ravens just because of the two losses here that the Ravens do have, both with big weeks. I mean, if the Saints go in and knock off the Bucs, and then Indy knocks off the Ravens this week, we could flip-flop there. We could be talking Saints and Indy come next week. So I agree with everything you said there, and it'll be kind of neat the rest of the year with us banging heads back and forth, with the Seattle and Pittsburgh's got a long way to go, but it's definitely going to be fun to watch.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, the DFS Sunday lineup for Week 9. At quarterback, once again, Patrick Mahomes is going to get the start. I overspent. No worries. That's why we go cheap in other departments. Just because Patrick Mahomes, I know, can deliver a 25 to 30-point performance on any given Sunday. So we got him starting at quarterback. And then we have running back this week, Myles Gaskin. I think Myles Gaskin is going to be a hard worker against this Arizona team. It seemed like he's starting to be used more and more weekly as well too. And all the guy does is just get yards. I see him doing nothing but positive things for his team. And so I'm going to rock with that, Jeff. So go ahead and we move forward with him as well as our starting running back for this week. And then also I'm going to throw in J.K. Dobbins, a guy that actually was stepping it up last week and looked like he was ready to take over the job as the starting running back for the Baltimore Ravens as well too, which is already in the plans. We both know this, Jeff, that eventually J.K. will be the number one guy. And I think that we're working ourselves into it because they want to keep Ingram fresh until the playoffs in a sense. But really, you're getting J.K. ready to be the guy. You know what I mean? So pretty much J.K. Dobbins, I think, has a standout performance this week against the Colts. So that's why I'm taking him, because I know that they're going to have a game plan for Ingram, but maybe not for J.K. And J.K., last time he was in Indianapolis, it was the Big Ten championship game. He absolutely crushed. So I feel he can do it again. And then we got Stephon Diggs from the Bills starting out receiver. I can't wait. Him and Josh have been having a great chemistry all season. This is a good game for them to showcase their skills. They're channeling Kelly and Reed a little bit. Kelly Lofton. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. Stephon Diggs. And this is a guy that a lot of people sleep on, but he's going to be the most important receiver in this game on both sides, in my opinion. That's Allen Robinson II for the Bears. He's been Nick Foles' security valve here. And Jimmy Graham's been helpful for him as well, too. Let's not forget Jimmy Graham's efforts. And I just keep looking at Jimmy and being like, you could have been a 10-year vet in the NBA as well, too, guy. You know what I mean? But, man, I don't know about the Hall of Fame anymore for Jimmy Graham, though. But I remember a while there, everybody was saying Hall of Fame. But with him playing on so many teams over the last 5 years, I don't know about that anymore. But he will be in the Ballers Hall of Fame. There's the NFL Hall of Fame, and then there's the Ballers Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? And Ballers, they don't break records. They just look good on tape. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm talking about. So pretty much it is what it is. And then we have Juju Smith-Schuster. He gets to start this week as well, too. I think Juju has a big game here against this Cowboys team. Usually the stars arrive against the Cowboys in a spot like this, and I think Juju is going to be a big, big star in this game come Sunday. He's going to be – and they playing in Dallas, too. He's going to be dancing all over the star. You already know. And you know, this Cowboy team, they ain't nobody gonna knock you over either. You just know that. You go dance on the star, they're not gonna do anything about it. Then the best tight end in all of football, and his name's not Kelsey, is Darren Waller. Darren Waller is such a weapon for Derek Carr, and you can't pass this up. This is the type of game where you would see him get double-digit catches and maybe double-digit touchdowns as well, too. They're going to have that linebacker, that big safety lined up on him, and he's going to dominate that matchup, in my opinion. Give me Darren Waller at tight end just because the matchup calls for it. And I'm just going off the fact that the tight ends for the Broncos absolutely destroyed the Chargers last week. They had big plays left and right against the Chargers, so I expect that this week as well too. And then this is a goodie right here. I think he's gonna have a monster game too, Jeff. Give me Darius Slayton from the Giants, man. You know how many times Jones missed him last night, and I kept telling myself that if Jones was a better quarterback, this could be a better situation for the Giants. So just know that Daniel Jones is a 50-50 at the end of the year. No, I didn't hear that from anybody inside the Giants offices or anything like that. I just know how football works. And Joe Judge is over here is observing if he should be moving forward with a Daniel Jones. Because once again, Daniel Jones is the product of the last organization's pick situation. And with Shermer and all those guys like that. And honestly, we all know it might have been a year too early as well, too. But, you know, it is what it is. You get who you get. You know what I mean? They're better off. But I still think that Haskins might have been a better pick for them. I just think that maybe Jones would have been better with the Skins. He would have been better with the Giants. You know what I mean? It's all about your fits when you're a rookie, dude, in my opinion, where they send you to. You know, so it is what it is. But that's my DFS lineup for this week.
I think you got some good players. You got some high ceilings. You got some guys that could definitely pop for sure. I mean, any team started with my homies is a great start right there. And
I'm telling you.
And so from there, anything's possible. I like the tight end spot with Waller as well. So look for wide receivers to chip in. I think you got a good shot there, Pops.
And it is what it is. That's where it's going. So pretty much with that, that's going to wrap our show up. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Jeff, final thoughts?
Last week was a great week. Let's piggyback right off of that. All the viewers here, thank you so much. Each week we're getting bigger and stronger. Keep hitting the likes, the tweets, retweets. Don't be afraid to follow us at EC Sports Invest on Twitter. You know, you can follow us on Facebook or IG at Jeff Dawson at East Coast Sports Investors. Check out our website at www.eastcoastsportsinvestors.com or drop us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. It's always a pleasure, Pops, and let's cash some tickets.
And you guys heard it there. You guys can catch me on Instagram as well, too, Dibiase Wave _. You guys can also catch me on the Twitter at PopDibiase. And go follow the YouTube page, PrimeWave Media. And boy, oh boy, we got big things coming. So y'all just sit back and enjoy the show. But with that, we are gone. Toodles.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Bet Exchange, where the sharpest bets are laid. This show was produced by the PrimeWave Media Group.